Don't wait for the perfect time to start or the perfect offer to come and find you. Start messy. Start small. Just start. Start before you feel ready. Don't wait for an offer to knock on your door. Go looking for it. Welcome to The PA is In, the show created by PAs for PAs, where codependency with your supervising physician is a thing of the past, optimal team practice is the future, and physician associate has taken the place of physician assistant as the professional title of choice. I'm Tracy Bingaman, and I'm obsessed with redefining what success as a PA looks like and what it feels like. Here you'll find the mindset shifts, systems, and processes I use to escape healthcare burnout and integrate my work into my life. Work-life balance is a myth, and an integrated life where you thrive professionally, not a balancing act, is the goal here. My mission is to help you to grow into a unicorn PA who loves their job, has abundant energy, time to spare, and work-optional financial freedom. The PA is in. Hey, and welcome back to The PA is In. I'm your host, Tracy Bingaman, clinician, career coach, mom of 5, recovering, burned out, people-pleasing perfectionist, and the loudest cheerleader for your part-time clinical dreams. Today, we're diving into something that I think we don't talk about enough inside of working in medicine, and that, my friend, is money. Specifically, how you can make more of it in and outside of clinical work. I'm going to walk you through 7 different income streams that have supported me over the years, from PRN work clinically and coaching to podcast sponsorships and affiliate referral programs. My goal is to inspire you to find your thing, your first step toward freedom, flexibility, and options. The best path to financial freedom and independence is getting control of your income, increasing your income from your primary position, and then diversifying by adding additional streams will help you to scale that inflow income number faster. And if this gets your wheels turning and you want to choose the best thing to pursue during this season of life, I've got a totally free guide for you at tracybingaman.com/gig. It's called the Side Gig Guide, and it's packed with it's more than 45. I think it's 48 ideas, pros and cons, and next steps to help you take action after today's episode in pursuing a side gig that enriches your life. Okay, let's get into it. You know that connection is one of my core values. So when I saw that Sermo created a new space for APPs specifically, I jumped at the chance to join. I joined because it's a space built specifically for PAs and NPs, a community where I could connect with providers who actually get it. I was drawn in by the opportunity to share insights, hear real stories, and honestly, also by the chance to earn a little extra money through surveys. And let me tell you, it's been worth it. In less than a year, I've made over $1,000 just by sharing my expertise in answering surveys. But beyond the income, the biggest value of the Sermo APP community has been realizing that I am not alone. Seeing what others are going through, whether it's burnout, work-life balance struggles, or even clinical challenges, and celebrating their successes. It has made such a difference in how I approach my career. If you're looking for a reliable additional income stream and a vetted community of like-minded providers, Sermo is where you need to be. It's the best place to learn about trends, see how others are doing, and make strong connections. Sign up today using the link in the show notes and join me inside this community of clinicians. And you'll even get a $20 bonus just for joining. Because in medicine, we're stronger together. Recently, someone I know lost their job. The single income for their young, growing family was suddenly gone. Watching them navigate the stress, the uncertainty, the scramble of replacing that income and wondering what they were going to do for things like benefits and paying their mortgage the next month, it hit me hard. Because you know what? Having just one income stream is like riding a unicycle or sitting on a one-legged stool. You might be balanced now, but if anything shifts, you're going to fall flat on your face. I don't say that to scare you. I want to inspire you, to spur you to take action, to choose one thing to start today to bring in additional income into your household. That moment, learning of the job loss that was this devastating blow to a single income household, reminded me why it's so important to be intentional about building multiple ways to earn money. not because I'm greedy or to focus on consumerism or that I simply want more, more, more. Not because I'm obsessed with hustling, quite opposite, in fact, but because I want choices. I want to be intentional about building generational wealth, and I want to breathe easier if something beyond my control changes. I'm in a season right now where earning money for me is the key to unlocking time freedom. In a season of political and economic uncertainty, don't sit and fret. Take action and get moving towards impacting what you can, which is specifically how much money you're bringing into your household. Those choices, the flexibility to leave positions, to achieve financial independence, that peace and calm that financial stability brings you, and margin in your life in terms of finances, I want the same for you. So let's break it down. 7 ways I've made money inside and outside of clinical practice. These are not all things that I'm actively doing or pursuing, but in the last 13 years since graduating PA school, these are things that I've done to generate revenue in my business and bring income into my household. Okay, first up, PRN surgery coverage. So let's start with probably the easiest and highest yield revenue generating or income increasing thing: extra hours. Whether it's increasing your work at your primary position or nailing down a PRN position, working more clinically is often the single fastest way to increase your income. Those clinical skills you have, they are incredibly valuable. This does not need to be in your primary specialty. When I was working in general surgery, I raised my hand for PRN shifts covering the hospital surgery service, covering call, rounding on weekends, scrubbing into additional cases after hours, and covering the surgery group at the hospital. So I was employed by the physician group and I took a PRN position working for the hospital. More recently, when I was working in urology, I volunteered to cover ER call for a private plastic surgeon in the area who was looking for someone to hold the pager, but also be able to come in and repair lacerations in cosmetically sensitive areas 1 week per month. That PRN position not only generated over $25,000 in income each year, helping me to pad our emergency fund and a slush fund for when I burned out and ended up leaving my position without another one lined up, but it also resulted in me landing my current clinical position as a cosmetic injector in a plastic surgery office. Not every moment taking an appendix out on a Saturday when I could have been home with my family was glamorous. There were 2 a.m. dog bites to be repaired in the ER and unstable patients who needed exploratory laparotomies in the middle of the night. There were weekend rounds and nonsense calls about the rate of lactated ringers fluid overnight, but those PRN positions padded my paycheck and showed those that mattered that I was ready to step up, that I was a hard worker, and that I would be a valuable team member if they were looking for one in the future. I did a little back of the envelope math, and conservatively, I've earned, probably during the 5 years where I had a PRN position in general surgery, and then when I went on to cover plastics call, an extra $200,000 in income. That's about $40,000 a year simply by raising my hand to be on call, to go to the satellite campus, to be home and sober and available to go in if a case happened, to round on the weekends, to cover that ER call. That financial flexibility and me taking that initiative to raise my hand to sign up to work for those groups opened doors in terms of financial freedom, but also in terms of networking and positions, earning the opportunity to be considered for positions that I didn't even know existed. Next up is one-on-one coaching. So if you fast forward today, I now coach clinicians who are fried, fed up, and ready to reimagine their careers. One-on-one coaching for burned out clinicians earns me somewhere in the realm of $300 to $500 per client per month of coaching, with anywhere from 2 to 5 clients that I'm working with at one time, depending on the season of life and how busy I am. That gets those clients weekly support calls, phone calls, activities and exercises to help them heal from their burnout, pivot to working part-time, make or navigate a job transition, gain clinical confidence, and even recently learn how to grow businesses that bless their lives, don't detract from them, and that are regularly generating revenue. The best part about coaching for me isn't actually the revenue that it generates, although this episode is about earning more money. One-on-one coaching means I get to walk beside my clients, help them to do things like negotiate, pivot, find balance, and come back to life on the other side of burnout. Sure, that first client was scary, and I didn't know what I was doing, just like the first surgery case that I scrubbed. I was just on the other side of burnout myself, and I was on the path to sort of figuring out how to generate systems and strategies that anyone could apply in their life as they recovered from burnout. But now it's become a sustainable, fulfilling part of my business that really helps me to stay in touch with clients and what they need. And that helps me to generate ideas for number three, which is group coaching and workshops. So, alongside fulfillment and money, time matters to me deeply as well. Those one on one calls are life giving to me. They're great market research. They let me know what clients are struggling with. And the clients I walk through burnout with are just wonderfully benefit when they heal their burnout. But I've scaled my business from doing the lion's share of my coaching from one on one calls to group sessions. I run the Pathway to Part-Time, a group coaching program that helps clinicians chart their course to sustainable work in medicine, where they're working part-time or even full-time with good boundaries. And we have a group coaching program in the work for small business owners who are clinicians who really want to scale their businesses so that they can earn more while working less. I love the synergy and the breakthroughs that happen in a group setting. I cannot overstate the importance of connection and community as you're going through something like this, whether it's a mastermind or getting in a group coaching program. If you're listening and you're sort of thinking like, yeah, I could teach people. If you've ever thought, wait, I could guide, could I guide someone through what I've learned? You can. People will pay you for it. I just want to take a moment to tell you that things that come easy to you, that seem very simple and straightforward, that you could talk about forever, that you could help someone with, might be incredibly hard for others to grasp, master, and implement. That is where coaching can be magic and life changing. You don't have to have finished your journey to help others along that road. Amy Porterfield is famous for saying that you need a 10% edge. You have to be 10% further down the road ahead of those that you are teaching. I can echo that strongly. As a clinician who not that long ago walked through burnout and started coaching and teaching on burnout recovery, sort of while I was still in the trenches dealing with how to recover from burnout, you don't have to have arrived at your final destination in order to help people along their own journey. Number four, content writing for healthcare brands. One of my favorite non-clinical gigs was writing content for a home care site. This was way before I started my business in earnest. I was just wandering around trying to find ways to give back to our family's finances and earn a little extra money. The kids were pretty little, and I was in a season where taking extra shifts and call wasn't in the cards given my husband's travel schedule and our family demands with at the time 4 and then 5 young kids at home. I got connected with a local to me creator who is launching a site to help caregivers of elderly family members get connected with the best local resources. She was aiming to draw consumers into the website with content that served those caregivers. I got to leverage my background and love of writing and create articles about things like decubitus ulcers, caregiver burnout, diabetes management for loved ones, how to advocate for a family member at a doctor's office, like when to know when to take your family member to be seen, whether that's in the ER or at the primary care. Topics I'd learned as a student and seen as a practicing PA geared towards those caregivers who were taking care of these elderly patients who needed care at home. This writing gig was flexible. It paid per article. It made me feel like I was still helping people and giving back, just in a different way. I remember one night I put my kids down to bed. I polished off an article. I sent it away. I cashed that paycheck. And at the time, I was earning probably all of $125 per article. And this was probably 7 years ago, but I did maybe 15 to 20 articles that first year. So an additional $2,000 a year that I was earning. In the second year, I did probably 2 or 3 a month. So let's say 36 articles, which would have generated an additional $4,500 that year. With 2 kids in daycare and then 3 kids actually at that time in daycare, I don't even want to calculate or share with you how much we paid for 3 kids in full-time daycare, one that was open from 7 to 7 or 6 to 6 actually, so that I could work in surgery and my husband could work and commute to a job that was 2 states away. So that $4,500 that year, we used every bit of it and we put it to good use. You don't have to completely forsake medicine and leave it behind to branch out. You can use that medical knowledge, that ability to write technically, that science background, or whatever your undergraduate degree was, and pair it with skills that you enjoy, and then find someone willing to pay you for it. Do you want to get started building your own freelance business as a CME writer, but don't know where to begin? Write CME Accelerator is your answer. Write CME Accelerator is a comprehensive year-long program that helps freelance medical writers build and grow sustainable businesses in CME writing. You'll receive expert training, live coaching, and year-long access to a private community. If this sounds like something you're down for, click the link in the show notes to join now. Next up, affiliate links and brand partnerships. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I'm on a mission not only to help clinicians regain their time and energy, but also to build real, significant financial independence and retire early, or more importantly, have the ability to walk away. If burnout comes, or if a family member needs you, or if you need a break from what you're doing, that is so important. It's one of the things that made it so that I could walk away from clinical medicine without another job lined up when I walked through burnout. So that means a couple of things: being intentional about where your income comes from, and also knowing how you can make your money work for you in ways that align with your values. So one example of this is having a high yield savings account. It's a great place to stash all of this extra income that you've been earning. I love using the Ally high yield savings account for our things that we have plans to spend in the next 2 to 5 years. And I love Ally so much that I recommend it to friends, followers, listeners. And when folks sign up through my affiliate link, I earn a commission. So not only is the high yield savings account generating revenue for our family in terms of interest, but also sharing that account generates a commission for me as well. The high yield savings account we have through Ally is currently paying about 3.6% interest. Interest rates change over time, but at the time of this recording, our money is earning hundreds of dollars a month, which equates to thousands of dollars a year, simply for being in a different type of account. A high yield savings account is a different account than just a savings account in that the yield is going to be higher. As I'm saying that, I'm like, well, duh. But also, it's just good to explain how this is different from a checking account or a savings account at maybe your local bank, unless your local bank offers high yield savings account. So between the interest and the affiliate commission from others opening their own high yield savings account and then earning interest on their money, it's a small stream, but it's part of a bigger picture: diversifying income, stacking these revenue sources, and building a life with more options and fewer obligations. And that's the freedom I'm chasing and helping others pursue alongside me. Number 6, podcast sponsors. This show brought to you by someone who paid me for ad spots. This very podcast, the show, and this episode specifically is supported by sponsors. It started very small, just one partner, one sponsor that I believed in who offered affiliate commission for products that sold using a discount code, using a specific link, and it grew as our audience grew. Do you remember my first? Was it the first? One of my very first podcast sponsors was affiliate links from a company called Vibrant Body Co. I'm still, by the way, all these years later, wearing their organic, carcinogenic-free underwear. Underwear and bras, they have held up for years. And if you have not heard me talk about Vibrant Body Co., use the code Tracy15. If you want to check out their new collection, they have athletic wear. You want to refresh your underwear and eliminate known carcinogens. So I did not know this before I started using them. that a lot of fabrics carry carcinogens that are banned in many countries. And they have a whole list of things that are not included in the processing, dyeing, or production of their undergarments. So that was something that sort of they were sponsoring because I was talking about them in the capacity of the show. And then if you use that discount code Tracy15, I would get an affiliate commission. We then grew as a show to have a bigger following and more listeners and watchers just like you. We pivoted from affiliate links to sponsors who support the show by paying for their ad slots. This was a big, really fun pivot to finally have the show making an impact and reaching enough listeners and impacting enough listeners' lives that I could share companies, products, and services that I love and deeply believe in. And those sponsors trusted me enough to deliver, the message of their great products and services to our listeners. If you're building a brand or a following, or you have a message that helps people, sponsors will want to be a part of that. Our podcast has seen steady growth of a very specific group of listeners. Our audience almost exactly mirrors the demographics of currently practicing PAs, and our partners tend to be companies aiming to serve and meet the needs of those clinicians. So as our audience have grown, the amount that we charge for advertiser slots has grown alongside it. One of my big, hairy, audacious goals is to have this show generating 6 figures of revenue in sponsorship slots alone. I love generating this content and serving you guys, and it's just the icing on the cake that sponsors are willing to collaborate and give me the opportunity to spread the word about their products and their services in partnership with our show. When you go to their sites, engage their products, use affiliate links or discount codes that you hear about on the show, it's a great way to say thanks to these sponsors and also get awesome service. For every sponsor that we have on the show, there's several that pitch or approach us or that we sort of think about having as sponsors. And unless I'm a fan of the products or services, I don't let them pay me to sponsor the show. I want to be very, very thoughtful about who we have in those sponsorship slots. All right, last but certainly not least, speaker fees and honorariums. One of the most fulfilling and a little surprising to me ways that I've earned income is through speaking engagements. And this year alone, I've had the opportunity to speak to hundreds of providers and students at conferences, webinars, in person, virtually, and at live events. From keynote talks to panel discussions and educational webinars, these opportunities not only let me share my story about burnout and strategies to help other clinicians to pivot away from that, they also came with compensation in the forms of honorariums and speaker fees. Oftentimes, this includes the organization covering hotel travel, and then my time and expertise for a presentation, a workshop, a question and answer time. And these have been a key piece of generating revenue for my business this year. There's nothing quite like that feeling of walking off stage from an in-person event as a presenter or keynote speaker and feeling like you made this incredibly positive impact on at least one person in that audience. That's speaker's high. Are we calling it that? Like runner's high, but presenter's high is one that I've been sort of shamelessly chasing since I shared my story of burnout and offered advice on how to heal your burnout on stage at my local Pennsylvania Society of PAs conference in 2022. If you're passionate about a topic, now that can be, something non-clinical or presenting on a clinical topic, and you can clearly communicate it, there is a stage, virtual or in person, waiting for you. Your experience has value. You can make a positive contribution to the profession, advance the skills that you have, help people around you, share your knowledge, and get paid to do it. Yes, people are willing to pay to hear what you've learned and how you've helped others grow. And yes, sometimes now my speaker rates get a sorry, that's not in our budget from prospective speaking engagements, and that's okay too. I've had to get comfortable with this concept of raising my rates at work through negotiation for podcast sponsors, coaching clients, and even those who are seeking speakers to present to their group or organization. This used to make me incredibly uncomfortable. Negotiation wasn't in my wheelhouse years ago, and it made me nauseous just thinking about sitting down with my surgeons or my administrators to ask for more, to speak up and ask for more, to get on a sales call, with a potential podcast sponsor. Now, I have become very adept at negotiation, and I help hundreds of clinicians every single year to negotiate improved compensation, better schedules, titles, job changes, pivots within organizations, and more. You deserve to earn more. And regardless of how you do it, you deserve to be paid well and feel great about the paycheck you are earning at your primary job, any of these secondary income sources that we've been talking about on today's episode. If that's not the case, there is a link for negotiation consultation in the show notes. I am happy to help. Are you feeling stuck, burned out, or craving a little more flexibility and financial freedom? You're not alone. So many clinicians feel trapped in the grind, overworked, underpaid, and unsure how to pivot. But here's the truth. Your skills are valuable beyond the clinic. That's why I created the 48 Side Gig Ideas for Healthcare Providers guide, a free PDF packed with practical, creative, and immediately cash-generating ideas that you can start right now. From telehealth to medical writing and patient advocacy to app development, and even a little note on podcasting, these things aren't fluff. These are real, proven opportunities that other providers are already doing. You don't have to figure it out alone. This guide will help you explore new passions, learn how to make extra money, and make the first step towards multiple income streams and building the life and career you actually want. Download your free copy today at tracybingaman.com/gig or click the link in the show notes and start creating financial freedom and cash flow flexibility on your own terms. Because you, my friend, are more than just your clinical job, and taking the first step to generating alternative revenue streams is waiting for you inside the Side Gig Guide. Find it now in the show notes. All right. So let's recap real quick before we wrap up. Here are 7 ways that I've made money in and around medicine: PRN clinical work, one-on-one coaching, group coaching programs or digital courses, content writing, affiliate links and referral programs, sponsorship of this show, and speaking and presentations. I'm not saying that you need to do all of these. Honestly, you probably shouldn't, and you definitely should not try to do them all at once. This is simply a list of the things that I've done over the years to generate income. Some I did for years, some I did for a much shorter season. All were things that worked for our family at the time, fit into my life, and some of them have opened new doors and led me to opportunities I otherwise wouldn't have had. Some of them were a relatively dead end, or a means to an end, or a way to temporarily generate income, and they didn't persist. But what I am saying here is to try something. Experiment with what you like and what fits into your life right now. See what lights you up. See how you can use that amazing clinical brain of yours in a different way. And for the love of all that is good and holy, don't wait until an economic or personal crisis to build financial options. My transition from burnout to healing was in no small part influenced by our family's financial stability. And these multiple income streams contributed heavily to that leading up to and after that. Diversification, although it can feel like one of those big, hairy vocabulary words that's financial and tends to make people overwhelmed, diversification is simple. You remember that phrase, don't put all of your bed, you know that phrase, don't put all of your eggs in one basket? Diversification in this sense means developing multiple skills that are going to generate multiple income streams to stay resilient in a changing job market. Diversification when it comes to incomes means not having all of your income coming from one place. If this episode stirred something in you, if you're curious about your own side gig potential, I want you to go grab my free side gig guide, tracybingaman.com/guide, or find the link in the show notes. Inside that guide, you'll find more than 45 side gig ideas tailored for clinicians, an overview of some of the high-level pros and cons for each alongside a brief description, tips on choosing the best side gig for you right now. This, my friend, is your sign. Don't wait for the perfect time to start or the perfect offer to come and find you. Start messy. Start small. Just start. Start before you feel ready. Don't wait for an offer to knock on your door. Go looking for it. Start having conversations with people. Talk to your network. Tell people what you're looking for. Connect with others who are in a place who might be able to connect you with someone who's looking to hire. I believe in you. I'm cheering you on, and I will see you next week right here on The PA is In. That's all for today. This PA is out. Congratulations. You've just joined an awesome club. By listening to a full episode of The PA is In, you are officially on the Unicorn PA team. Welcome aboard. What most team members do is they subscribe to the podcast because that allows them to automatically get the latest episode of the show. The life of your dreams exists on the other side of taking action. Keep making small shifts and keep getting better. Your life will improve, your career will soar, and you will have the confidence you need to create your own success. I will see you in the next episode. This PA is out.